You do an event that takes you 44 seconds to cover the track. What do you think of an event that takes 15 hours even for a good person?
I think it's a serious challenge, isn't it? I mean, the only thing I can compare to this is in 2000 I did the London Marathon.
Yes.
And that took me 3 hours 45 minutes of pain. So to be on your feet for 15 hours or whatever is a serious challenge. But what I like about this is that you've got that blend. If you've got people, and I've met the last two winners, you've got the people who are really trying to push it to do the whole 85 miles. But you've also got a lot of people just raising money for charity. So, but it's a proper challenge. It's not just, turn up and let's walk for 20 miles. 85 miles is a long way.
Racewalking is a peculiar sport, most people would say. Did you meet any race walkers in your time?
A few, but not many. There are a few characters in the team.
What's your impression?
Well,
race walking?
It's a certain breed, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I don't see what makes somebody sort of wake up one day and think, I think I'll be a race walker. As a kid, I don't see, I haven't met many people who do that. But it's obviously one of those things that once you get into it, it really consumes you, and it's proper sport. I mean, it's serious athletics.
You've run the London Marathon, you say. What do you think of endurance events in general? I mean, do you understand the whole idea, or do you think that?
No, I totally understand it. I just wasn't very good at it.
Yes.
I think for me, although my training was very, very hard, it was very quick. The difference between what I did was that the pain I would experience, I could get there in 30 seconds.
Yes.
But for a walker, it's a constant, or a runner, a marathon runner, it's a constant pain. And what I always found very difficult when I was training for the marathon, or even when I went for a 30-minute run when I was an athlete, is to just keep going. You got a little voice in your head, and you're
Do you think that people only go as far as they have to? Would you prefer to have been a 200-meter runner if you could have won the Olympics at 200?
I would much rather have been a 100-meter runner because it doesn't hurt.
Yes.
200 doesn't hurt that much. 400 hurts, and anything past 400 really hurts.
Yes.
So if you have a choice, be the 100-meter Olympic champion because it doesn't hurt.
I don't know.
Marathon. What the top marathon runners do, I can't really relate to. But of course, what I do understand is that for long distance runners and walkers, that's what they do. That's what they're good at. And they look at the 400 meters and think, I would never do the 400 meters. That is the ultimate pain.
Yes.
So you've got to understand, certain people are just good at certain things. So what was natural to me is not necessarily natural to somebody else, and vice versa.
Apart from your marathon, did you ever go beyond 600 in a competition?
The furthest I ran was an 800.
You have run?
I did it once.
And what time did you take for that?
I did 1:51, I think. And I think if I'd taken it seriously, I could have got down to sort of, I've been quite good. But I think, was it 1? I can't remember what time I ran. 600 I was quite good at. 500 I was good at. But no, I think my best event was the 400.
In the Isle of Man, we've got a population of 80,000 people. Yeah. We've got 5 athletic clubs.
Yeah.
What do you make of the club scene generally? You were involved in a breakaway club at one time from Team Southampton, Team Solent.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
How important do you think it is that there's competition between clubs as opposed to having strength in a club?
Club athletics is the lifeblood of British athletics. It's the main reason I think we've been such a successful nation, because it gives people the opportunity for competition. If you don't have competition, you can't improve. You can train as many hours as you want. You can look good in training, but ultimately you're judged on how you compete. And one of the challenges on the island here is how do you subject the athletes here to a higher level of competition without them coming off the island. So it's a great challenge. But competition in my sport of athletics absolutely is crucial. So the more clubs you have, the more competition you have, the more. But in theory, then the better the standards of performance.
Do you think there's a good club structure in the UK now, or does it need tinkering?
I think it always needs tinkering. I think athletics is a difficult sport because you're competing against other sports that are much more attractive for young talent: football, rugby, cricket.
Yes.
So athletics is not the most glamorous of sports, and the club structure is really a pretty amateuristic thing, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. If we lost it, I think we'd really struggle. I think we're very fortunate that we do have as good a club structure as any country in the world. other countries really don't have a club structure, and without it, I think we would struggle. You've got to have, for every person like me who came into the sport quite late, very quickly, and suddenly I didn't really need club athletics because I was competing internationally straight away. There are a lot of other athletes who, without club athletics, they'll get no competition, and there are a lot of talented people that take time to come through.
Yes.
And if there's no club structure, they're not going to be subjected to any competition, and they're just going to be lost from the sport.
You won the Commonwealth Games when you were 20.
I did.
Do you think it's important that people break through at an early stage? Other athletes such as Linford Christie were much later. How important is that?
Well, I was late because I came to the sport at 18. I don't think it matters. I think it doesn't matter what age you are. If you're good enough, you're good enough. I really don't think, if you're good enough at 18, you're good enough at 18. If you're good enough at 24, you're good enough at 24. I don't think there's a natural conveyor belt. I think you just make it happen.
Finally, you're going to be required to give your talk shortly in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Would you like to just explain what your role is with Scottish Widows?
Well, I'm the Olympic ambassador, one of the Olympic ambassadors for Scottish Widows, who are one of the sponsors of 2012. So my role is twofold. One is to be there for Scottish Widows at events that they sponsor, like the Parish Walk. But also I have a mentoring role. We have 4 young up-and-coming athletes, not just track and field, we have different sports, who are all aspiring to go to the Olympics and do well. And we support them financially, and myself and Sarah Story, who's the other ambassador, we mentor them as well. So that's my role.
Well, thank you for coming to the Isle of Man,
Okay.
and thank you for talking to the Parish Walk website.